One Instagram post just made me $34,000, and the crazy part, it isn't even mine. Most people think you need millions of followers or viral posts to make crazy money. In reality, you don't need either. Influencer marketing, one of the best middleman models out there. Brands want exposure, brands want attention, influencers want money. You connect them both and take your cut. And this model is already massive. Think about Travis Scott collab with McDonald's. One influencer deal turned into a cultural moment that boosted McDonald's sales by millions. Or even look at Kai Cenat, one stream with Drake or 21 Savage becomes an event, not just the content. Brands will pay crazy money to attach themselves to that kind of audience. And one person was behind all of these deals, and that's the power of middleman model, specifically influencer marketing. And the best part is this model isn't slowing down, it's exploding. The creator economy is on track to hit over $500 billion in the next few years. And the craziest part, you don't even need an audience to tap into it. You don't need to be famous, you don't need millions of followers. You just need to connect the right people, right brand with the right creator. And that single connection can be worth more than people make in 1 month. So let's break down exactly how this one post made me over $34,000. A couple of months back, we reached out to a brand with our new outreach campaign. We knew he's spending good money on influencers. They were looking for new ways to push a new product launch in lifestyle niche with new influencers. At first, they weren't ready to spend big on us since we were new agency that works with them. They work with multiple agencies, and that's completely normal in this business. So instead of pitching them a huge full campaign management, I played long-term game. Here's the campaign, how that looks, how the open rate was, and how big of the sequence it was. Every step built more trust. We went from cold emails to actual calls, from calls with one person to calls with the team, and eventually from sending over one-off deals with mid-size influencers to being invited into their Slack. That shift from email to Slack, from calls with one person to whole team, is when you know that the brand sees you as a real partner, not just another vendor. So by the time I offered them one of the best influencers in my network, they didn't hesitate. The trust was already there, and that's how I locked in $34,000 deal from one post and set of stories. So how did this look in practice? First step was finding the influencer. Meanwhile, in my network, I already had an influencer in mind I have been working with consistently. Before bringing him up, I pitched the brand plenty of other creators, smaller ones, safer ones, kind of mid-sized deals that kept campaigns moving and helped us build trust from my whole roster that I have. But with these influencers, it was different. I knew his numbers inside out, how his audience responded to new campaigns, and I knew he was worth way more than just the average influencer page you see online. He wasn't just a profile with followers, he was a trusted voice in his niche. From the start, I had a plan. I knew what I will do to actually pitch this guy. I wasn't going to recommend him straight away. I was going to wait until the brand had tested enough, until they saw that I could deliver, and that until they were ready to spend big. Once that momentum came, the timing was perfect. I introduced him, and immediately the tone of the conversation shifted. Suddenly, it wasn't about small test budgets anymore. It was about how fast and how big we can actually scale. Next step was negotiations and closing. Once the brand showed interest, everything moved fast. We have already built trust through smaller deals. So this wasn't about if the influencer marketing works, it was about how big they were ready to go. The ask was clear. One Instagram post and set of stories tied to their product launched. We kicked things off with starting number that was a bit higher from the price that I usually pitch, from the price that we use for this influencer. So I have some space and advantage in negotiations, and this is a really good tip for you guys. From there, negotiations moved quickly. A few Slack threads. The brand wanted small adjustments on deliverables. The influencer had a few requests on his own, and my role was to balance both without letting the deal stall, without letting the deal fall off. We didn't close at the very first number I pitched, of course. We had some negotiations. We landed slightly under it, but here's the thing, the deal still came in. $34,000 for one Instagram post and 3 stories, or one set of stories. And for me, that's a win. Why? Because speed matters in this case. We kept momentum, closed fast, and everyone walked away satisfied. The whole process took around 5 to 6 days, which is really fast. Of course, we need to count all the months that we did before actually pitching this influencer, but overall, when you build this relationship, we can close a deal like this in 5 to 6 days. As you can see, this was probably in the same day all the confirmations came. And that's the middleman advantage. No endless decks, no 3-month delays, just a connection, negotiation and wire transfer. Now obviously I can't share the exact splits, but here's what I can tell you. The total was $34,000, one Instagram post and set of stories, or 3 stories to be specific. Out of that, the influencer got paid what he was happy with, and I took my cut for making that happen. And the cut wasn't small, it was well over 5 figures for one-time collaboration with this influencer, for first deal with this influencer. I didn't film, I didn't edit or post anything, and still made this much money. All I did was connect the brand with the right influencer, manage the negotiation, lock in the terms, lock in the contracts, and that's it. That single role, the middleman, turned down one post into a 5-figure payday for me. And the craziest part, it wasn't even a massive setup, no office, no big production team, just a few Slack threads with the brand, couple of WhatsApp chats with the influencer, and some emails to keep everything aligned. That's it, a handful of conversation that turned into a 5-figure deal. Most people think that big money is in chasing trends, dropshipping, SMMA, now AI agencies all over the YouTube right now. The truth is, while everyone is recycling the same hustle, the same businesses that keep coming every single year, I turned one Instagram post into a deal that's worth more than most of these businesses make in months. Now imagine if one Instagram post can generate $34,000, imagine stacking 10, 20, 50 influencer campaigns. That's when this stops being a side hustle and becomes a full-time business. And I know what most of you guys are thinking right now. It's easy for you. You have been into this business for years. You have been doing and closing these deals for years. Wrong, and that's my exact point right now. This model works for everyone who is willing to do the work. Take Ash, for example. He came into one-on-one with me with zero experience. In his first 40 days, he closed one of collabs worth over $7,000 by following the same steps. Or Sergio, he started from nothing online and hit 10K months within 50 days. That's what most people can't even imagine in their year. Different people, different backgrounds, same model, same results. So the proof is simple. This isn't theory, this isn't luck. My $34,000 post was one deal, Ash collabs were another, Sergio campaign was another, and there are dozens of more. If you can land one, you can land 10, and then 10 can turn this into a 6-figure business really, really easily. Now, if you want to go deeper and join one of these guys, you can always check out Middleman Roundtable. The link will be down below. Now, let me break down 4 lessons that turn this post into a 5-figure deal and how you can apply them today. Lesson number 1 is don't play your best card first. The big mistake I see people do, they have this one influencer, they pitch him first. This is their best influencer. The influencer where they can make the most money, they pitch him first. When the brand says no, they have nothing left. I did the complete opposite. I started small, from smaller influencer to mid-size influencers, saw how the brand is investing, what they are ready to pay, how they negotiate, and then went to these bigger deals. The lesson here is don't sprint, build your runway first. Trust builds over time, but trust isn't the only thing that matters. Speed is just as important. Now, while we are building trust at the same time, we also need a bit of speed to close, and that's what we need to build over time too. Brands don't want 6-week sales process, they want fast answers, fast quotes, fast turnarounds. The only reason this deal moves so quickly because I had direct access to WhatsApp of the influencer and I had direct access to Slack with this brand. I didn't get this Slack from day one, from first email. We built it over time, as I mentioned before, and this is when you can actually pitch these big influencers and get them approved really, really fast because you have direct contact with the brand. No middle rails, no waiting. That's why I closed in days, not months. Of course, we need to count this process before that compounded, but the actual big influencer that I had in mind from day one is pitching after a few months. And that's really, really important. Lesson 3 is brands pay for time saving. Something most beginners don't get. Brands don't pay middlemen because we are special. They pay because we save them time and headaches. If they had to source influencers, negotiate and manage every single deal, they would need a whole team. Instead, they delegate to us and other agencies. One email to me replaces 20 tasks for them, and that's why they are happy to pay me my cut. And once you get that, you start to see real magic, which is compounding. Lesson 4, compounding effect. That $34,000 post wasn't random. It was a result of months of smaller deals, hundreds of messages and systems I set up long before the opportunity came. That's a real secret. Deals compound, trust compounds over these months, systems compound, and the longer you play, the bigger the wins you get. One post today, 3 campaigns tomorrow, $1 million pipeline in the year. And that's why being a middleman isn't about luck, it's about patience and leverage. Now let's talk about how you can start these too. First step is choose your niche. Don't try to sell to everyone, it makes your outreach messy and you can't position yourself like a pro. Start with industries where influencers already create content. Fitness and supplements, beauty and skincare, food and beverages, tech and gadgets. These are 4 big industries which invest a lot in influencer marketing. Rule of thumb is if you already see influencer content in that niche, there is money flowing. Second step is pick a service. Now that you know who you are going to serve, the niche you will focus on, the next step is to define what you're actually going to offer to these brands. Because you can't just go to a brand and say, I'll do influencer marketing for you. You need a clear, simple service that makes sense for them and is easy for you to deliver. One-time collabs is the first service that I definitely recommend to everyone to start with. Brand space for specific campaign, 1 to 3 influencers, simple deliverables, 1 TikTok, 1 reel, 1 story. Easy to start because brands are used to testing campaigns and are open to working with multiple agencies. Next one is influencer seeding. Brand sends products to micro-influencers. Goal is to build relationships, collect UGC, and this is very low risk for the brand, and every brand, even the ones with lower budgets, can do influencer seeding. This is a great entry point for beginners because budgets are smaller and the brand says yes faster. Third step is find brands that are already spending on influencer marketing. Here's the fastest shortcut. Don't pitch to brands that have never done influencer marketing. You'll waste months of trying to convince them. Instead, look at the creators in your niche. Who's sponsoring them right now? Those are the brands that already have budgets and want to spend even more. Screenshot their ads, write down their marketing managers and start building that list. If you go, for example, on AIAA's profile, you go on search and click on .com sponsored or ad, any hashtag like that, you will see, for example, in this case, AIAA's collaboration with Saley. You can see the discount code in his description. Every brand you see there is proven to spend money on creators. They already believe in influencer marketing and they know that it works. Why is this gold? Because it eliminates guesswork. You don't need to convince them the influencer marketing works. You just need to show them the better creators, better execution and smoother system. Fourth step is outreach to brands that are already spending on influencer marketing. Once you have the list, it's time to actually reach out to them. Don't overthink it. A simple message works best. Keep it short, show you know their niche, and make it clear you have relevant creators for them. That's it. You don't need a 20-side pitch deck to get a reply. The actual template can look really simple like this. Dear name, I came across brand or product recently and was impressed by specific compliment or observation. It's clear that you're building something that resonates with your audience. This is just to try to connect with them. I run an agency name where we help brands like yours connect with trusted influencers across platforms and niches. Our team has supported campaigns in industry vertical that drove both awareness and measurable sales lift. I believe brand name could benefit from the right creator partnerships. We already work with a pool of influencers who align well with your target market and can deliver authentic product around your products. Would you be open for a short call where I can share a few examples or ideas? If you don't want to hop on a call, you can just say, where can I send a few examples or ideas or anything like that. You need to have a call to action. Fourth step is pitch the right creators. When they reply, that's where the real leverage is. You don't need to convince them the influencer marketing works. They're already spending. You just need to pitch them the right creators from your network. If you match them with someone who fits their brand, you have already done 90% of the job. Fifth step and last step is negotiate and add your margin. From there, it's all about the numbers. The brand has a budget, the creator has a rate, and you sit in the middle. The gap between those numbers are your margin. And this is where being connected pays off. Fast negotiations, quick adjustments, and closing the deal before momentum dies. Trying to make both sides happy, and that's where your cut and your margin comes in. So that's how one Instagram post turned into $34,000 deal. No hacks, no magic, just one single post with negotiating, connecting the right brand with the right creator. And the best part, this was just one-time collaboration. This brand can continue working with this influencer. We can potentially work with multiple influencers, manage the 50K, 100K campaigns, or even take over their whole budget in the future. If you found any value in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe. I post this kind of breakdowns every single week, so make sure to hit the subscribe and hit the like button. If you want free templates and resources I don't share here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to my free newsletter and also join the free Discord community where you can connect with other influencer marketing agency owners. If you want to go more in depth, also make sure to join Middleman Roundtable, where you get everything that you need from starting your agency to closing your first deal. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Trotsky, Spider, yeah.